Hello and welcome to Fusion Writing, where building character meets creating structure. Boy, oh boy, do we have a lot of exciting stuff and activities and news, and I won't take up any more time teasing you. Victoria?
All right, so I have to reach over to the bookcase because official reveal, the book has been submitted to the printer. So in just a matter of weeks, you can order the Zettelkasten for fiction writers. It's on the way. So finally, let's see, 566 pages of fiction writing goodness for you. So let's talk about the Zettelkasten. Let's talk about this note card system that is chocked full of juicy note card goodness. What do you do with all of these cards? Now, if you've been following us over in LiLLiPub, you know that starting on November 1st, we issued a challenge, which is the Experience Collection Challenge. And it is simply collect one note card a day from an experience, an observation, an emotion, the five senses, whatever strikes you as interesting or potentially useful for a story that you're writing or a story later. So now, if you've been following along with the challenge, you have at least 14 note cards counting today. I have myself many more than that because I'm kind of an overachiever in that regard. So what do you do with all these cards? Well, I'm going to send you over to LiLLiPub. If you go to the Experience Collection Challenge Cafe and click and download the PDF if you haven't already, there are worksheets that help walk you through what I like to call buckets for how to corral all this information that you're gathering. So whether or not you've begun your Zettelkasten, it doesn't matter. You don't have to have a running, functioning system. All you need is a little bit of organization. And you may be thinking, but I'm afraid I'll make a mistake. I don't know how to break it all down. I'm not sure that I know where all of these things go. None of that matters. All that matters is you give yourself a few buckets that make sense to you. They only have to make sense to you because you're the one that's ultimately going to use this stuff. So the first worksheet that I give you that divides your areas into four things is plot, character, inspiration, and scene. And then I like to include a fifth one, which is theme. So let's just look at plot and character. Maybe you've laid out your 14 note cards up to this point, and you immediately see two things that you observed. Maybe one is while you were driving and one was at the grocery store. And those things in your mind are very descriptive things that could describe a character. Well, then you simply stick those in your character bucket. There's no science to it. You just drop them in an area labeled character stuff. Same for plot. Let's say you're driving and you have a really great idea for a plot twist, or maybe something that could serve as a revelation that drives your plot forward. Where do you think you're going to put it? You're going to file it under plot and just leave it there. At this point in the organization, don't worry about having 45 categories all pre-named and lined out. Chances are you're not going to end up using 30 of them anyway, so there's no point in creating a huge structure. Just keep it simple so you can drop things into places that make sense. As I said, another one could be items for scenes, maybe a detail of the way that the sunlight comes through the curtains onto a table. That's a great scenic detail. Stick it under scenes. Another item on the list is inspiration. This is what we would consider a pool or a general collection, just things that inspire you. If I'm feeling drained of ideas, just not really feeling much of anything, I'll just go to Pinterest or go to Instagram and look up stuff on old castles. Don't ask me why. It just inspires me. You have to tap into the thing that grabs your creativity and gets you dreaming a little bit. All that stuff just gets stuck in inspiration. And then, of course, theme are those bigger items, those life items, maybe found family, maybe love after loss, maybe hero to zero. Whatever theme something could qualify as, stick it in the theme pile. What you'll eventually find is you get 8 or 10 or 15 cards in a bucket, and then you think, it's time to break those down into some more categories because I think I can organize that a little bit more. That's how your system branches and grows. So just start shoving them into buckets now that give you a breadcrumb trail for later. The second worksheet is the one that actually gives you places for filing. I've got the five senses, sight, sound, and smell, taste, and touch, and I've added emotion or intuition. That's just another super simple way of breaking down these random things that you're observing all month. Certainly, they could fall under the five senses or the sixth emotion or intuition. Another simple way to just start separating those things out so that your writer's mind can chew on the details. So that is my suggestion for an easy way to process the cards that you're creating over the course of the month. And hopefully you continue creating them, because creating a card a day and at least sharing some of them over in LiLLiPub is your fee for joining the free workshop that I'm going to teach at the end of the challenge, that takes you from random note cards collected through turning them into a work in progress. I'm going to walk you step by step through how to do that. So for now, save those things in their buckets and just start letting your writer's brain chew on what you might be able to do with them, or how they might apply to a story that you're already writing. Ideally, you're pushing your writing projects ahead, so try and push your collections in that direction if you can. With that said, it's just a matter of weeks until you, my friends, can have this dog in your hands. I will let you know as soon as it's available. Other than that, I'm going to throw it over to Kathleen for her compass. Excuse me, for her map.
Okay. Oh, thank you so much, Victoria. And I am so excited that your book is at the printer. Oh my gosh, that means it's just a matter of, I mean, like I told you one time, I'm going to get an advent calendar this year, but I'm going to be counting off the days till I get your book.
It won't
Because
be
that's
long.
what I want for Christmas. Well, I have a topic today that it we're not going to put respect totally on the back burner. That's our character trait for the month. But I had an idea that came to me for a way to talk about the positions on the character profile diagram in a way that I think will help make each of those positions really, really clear. And the reason I like it is because it doesn't really use a character trait, but it uses something that we're all very familiar with. So hopefully it will stick, and we can use that as a mental guideline whenever we want to say, okay, I've got my character trait of respect and I've got my character. Where does that go on the character profile diagram? Well, are you ready for it? Everybody has always heard that it's a very good idea to stop and smell the flowers, right? Suppose stop and smell the flowers was a character trait. Okay, now let's take a look at what it might look like on the character profile diagram. Well, first of all, we have our character for whom stop and smell the flowers is in the pinnacle position. Oh, of course he's heard stop and smell the flowers. Who hasn't heard stop and smell the flowers? But do you think that he ever stops to smell the flowers? Nope. He can be walking down the street. He's getting his exercise. He's got to get his exercise because he knows he's supposed to do that. There's flowers blooming left and right. He's walking down. He's getting his exercise. He doesn't even notice there's flowers there. Stop and smell the flowers. What? That's not in his brain. Okay. All right. 32 seconds to go. Okay. Okay. Now I get to slow down for 15 seconds. Okay. That's up. Time to go full speed again. Full speed again. Okay. 2 more minutes of full speed. Okay. I get to slow down. Flowers? No flowers in his life. Doesn't matter how many are lining the pathway. Pinnacle. Okay, got him?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now let's take it in the wing position. Stop and smell the flowers. Our character, of course, has heard stop and smell the flowers. Stop and smell the flowers. Oh my gosh, there's flowers there. Stop and smell the flowers, but there's flowers there, but I've only got so much time to get my exercise done. What do you mean stop and smell the flowers? I got my slow pace, and that gives me for 30 seconds. And now my 30 seconds is up, and I gotta go like crazy for 2 minutes. Stop and smell the flowers. Why are you nagging me about stop and smell the flowers? I haven't got any time to stop and smell the flowers. See the difference? It's on his brain, but it's not in reach. It's totally not in reach. Now we take our next guy. He's in the rudder position. He gets out there and he gets on his walk and he does his 2 minutes and it's time to relax for 30 seconds and he sees some flowers ahead and it's like, oh, stop and smell the flowers. Huh. I'm supposed to stop and smell the flowers. I'm supposed to get my exercise. And I'm supposed to stop and smell the flowers. I wonder if today, should I stop and smell the flowers? Maybe I should stop and smell the flowers. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, I'm so glad I decided to stop and smell the flowers. All right, 2 minutes. The difference? That's the rudder position. It was accessible. It was a little bit of a battle. It was a little bit of a struggle. Am I going to stop or am I not going to stop? And stopping won out. And he enjoyed the smell. He was so glad he did the victory state. He got to achieve the victory state. All right. Now we've got our person where it's in the anchor position. He's done his 2 minutes just like the other guys, and he sees the flowers ahead, and it's like, oh, I stop and smell the flowers. When there's flowers there, I stop and smell them. Oh, so nice. My 2 minutes. See the difference? He didn't have to do a lot of debating. He just had that as a general rule to himself. When there's flowers there, I stop and smell the flowers. I make that decision routinely. I don't debate it. I stop and smell the flowers. Okay. Are you ready for our base position? Now here's our guy in our base position. He takes off. He runs his 2 minutes. Okay. His 30 seconds. He's slowing down. There's flowers ahead. Oh my gosh. Aren't they beautiful? Right on the pathway. Oh, and I'm getting so close to them. Oh, what a divine smell. Oh, Lord, thank you for the beautiful flowers and bless the people who put them right on my pathway. Oh my gosh. Okay, my 2 minutes. You see how he differed from the guy in the anchor? He didn't have to stop and think about it. There was no more thinking about should I smell the flowers than the pinnacle guy. It was just like, there's flowers. And his heart went out to the flowers and he enjoyed the flowers, just naturally a part of who he is. And that's what we mean when we say a trait is in the base position. All right. So I hope you will stop and smell the flowers, think about it a little bit. And now let's think about one of your cards that you've been making for our experience collection. So you've been gathering your cards, and some of them are going to have people in them, and some of them are going to have character traits. So now that we've had this review of what it means to be somewhere on the character trait profile diagram, based on the kinds of thoughts that go on in your character's mind, is that going to make it easier for you next time when you've got a character trait in mind and you've got a character in mind? And you want to say, well, where does it actually go? Where does it actually go? And that will help you figure out your placement. And now, when you're done, you can make a remark on your card where it is on the character profile diagram. And if you come over to LiLLiPub.org, which of course is where we hang out when we're not here in YouTube land, over in LiLLiPub.org, you will find our experience collection. You'll get your download sheets from Victoria. You'll be surprised when you get over there how much stuff has already been posted. So come on over to LiLLiPub.org. And do you have something to add to this, Victoria?
Well, if everything goes well and there's no holdups at the printer, which we always have to be mindful of, there are things out of our control. But if everything goes well, I will have the book purchase link available for my fellow Lilligans the first week of December. You guys get first dibs. So we're almost there.
Well, do you have anything to add to our map for today?
Tell you what, this was a good one. Number one, that was a fantastic breakdown of just a simple way to remember how to move those traits around through a character. Just fantastic and something so easy to remember. So highly encourage our viewers to experiment with that. Experiment with how to manipulate those traits with your characters, and certainly in the way that you're using your collected experiences. Kathleen's absolutely right. There are characters in those cards. If you just dig in there and find them and start playing with those traits, that can help you start building them out, and that gets you closer to the writing, and that's what we're here to do. So another fantastic episode.
Okay, well, thank you so much. And we will see you over in LiLLiPub and join us on Fusion Writing for our Saturday writing sessions. And don't forget to post your experiences so that you can get admission to our free workshop next month. See you soon. Bye-bye.